Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan. Today I'm going to tell you if this game is worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Fallout 4. Fallout is back yet again with a lot of gameplay changes and a new setting of Boston, Massachusetts. Is it worth going post-apocalyptic again? Fallout 4 was released on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation, and is currently available on both Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. Additionally, the game is at least 25 hours long, though you are probably going to spend much more, up to 100 plus, in the Boston wasteland. So what exactly is Fallout 4? Well, it's another open world shooter with RPG and base building elements set in a post-apocalyptic Massachusetts. You play as a vault dweller who, as well as your spouse and child, are cryogenically frozen just as the bombs begin to drop. However, your spouse and son are thawed early and your spouse killed and son taken. So after you shake the icicles off, you're gonna have to channel your inner Liam Neeson to go find your child in this post-apocalyptic commonwealth. Fallout 4's basic structure is very similar to the previous game in that it's an open world with an abundance of areas to explore, loot to find, and enemies to shoot at with the slow-mo limb targeting VATS, but there have been some significant changes overall. First off, shooting has been improved significantly, meaning you don't have to rely as much on that, as you can now aim down sights and use traditional pew pew bang bang rather than the strategic slow-mo from the previous games. Secondly, crafting is now a major part of the game. Remember all that junk you could pick up in other Bethesda games? Well, now it can be stripped down for parts, which can be used to either upgrade your guns and armor, or in the game's settlement building portions to establish larger bases or cities. On the flip side, the RPG elements have generally been significantly stripped down. Assigning points to individual skills like small guns, etc. has been completely removed and replaced with a perk-only system where tiers of perks are unlocked based on your special allocation. Each level gives you a perk point to spend, with most perks having multiple levels, and perks being more general in their application than the previous system. And lastly, dialogue has been truncated down to a Mass Effect style 4-choice system, with 3 of them basically being the same thing, and 1 relying on your speech stat, which is back to being based around a percentage from Fallout 3 rather than a guarantee. With those changes, Fallout 4 is much more focused on the minute-to-minute exploration and shooting than the RPG bits, and this is further evidenced by its MMO-style repeatable quests of go here, kill things, come back that bolster XP and caps. Of course, there are still many factions to side with and main story points to explore along the way. So overall, Fallout 4 is a fairly significant change from the previous game with a heavier focus on shooting and base building and less on RPG elements such as dialogue, unique quests, and strong character customization. So what do I like about Fallout 4? Well, the shooting really does feel very solid, easily the best in the series, with a wide variety of weapons to choose from and a means to accommodate most playstyles. Additionally, weapon customization is really fun, with many upgrades being very significant and allowing you to craft a basically perfect arsenal to accommodate your playstyle. And lastly, even though I lament losing a lot of the in-depth RPG leveling, I did enjoy the streamlined special perk system to leveling up, as it provided significant upgrades each level and gave clear goals to shoot for with my character. When it comes to the bad, despite what I just said, I do really miss the strong RPG character building elements presented in the previous 2 games, and it feels like this might have streamlined everything a little too much. Additionally, the new dialogue system is a joke. I don't even know why speech is in the game anymore. You can't even choose direct responses, and instead just a proposed general mood and your character says whatever. For a series that was very much focused around dialogue, this feels like a misstep. And lastly, story and factions in this world feel really underdeveloped when compared to Fallout New Vegas and even Fallout 3 in some places, with the overall drive forward not being compelling and a lot of that Fallout gray morality just not there. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale: must play, maybe consider, don't bother, and Fallout 4 is definitely a maybe consider. It got a lot of flack for being a game in a series renowned for its rich levels of player choice and RPG mechanics, and Fallout 4 basically strips that all down to its bare minimum. But honestly, as an open world shooter, it's still fairly solid. The core loop that makes Bethesda games engaging is still here, and the setting and aesthetic look great as ever. While fans of the series might be disappointed, those new to the franchise and don't have the baggage will find a lot to love in this game's shooting, exploring, crafting, and setting. Here's just hoping Fallout finds a good balance between this and New Vegas. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think about Fallout 4? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Please let me know in the comments. Regardless, you go out there and enjoy Fallout 4.